Shalom. First of all, I'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutations and peace and love to you brothers that's doing the work sincerely, truthfully, and not for vainglory. I come to you today with a lesson, and I'm going to call this lesson the Thorns. Okay? And I just want to get into something real quick. There's going to be a quick video, Lord willing. Just want to get into something real quick. This is 2 Corinthians 12, and I'm going to start at 7, right? This is Paul, right? And he's talking to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, okay? And he says, verse 7, "And least I should be exalted above measure, the abundance of revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, least I should be exalted above measure." So I have to say is that we have all brothers, the whole nation, all right, of Israel. And this is what they don't understand. They struggling like, damn, why we going through this? Why we don't have banks? Why we don't have hospitals? We was given thorns. And let me show you some about these thorns. All right? These bad boys hurt. These bad boys prick. Imagine if you had to walk and you had these in your shoes. This is how it feels to be a so-called black, Latino, and Native American, an Israelite scattered abroad. We were given thorns. Satan is buffeting us. All right? Slavery was a thorn. And our own Lord Yahweh Shah, he would put thorns on his head. Actual thorns into his scalp. Okay? But we are going to try. There's a reason why the Lord gave us these thorns, man. So what? He said, at least I should be exalted above measure. Because Jay got this thing about them where they become all high and mighty. You start to think you're doing everything on your own. So the Most High had to slow us down. Okay? Verse 8. "For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me." So Paul actually had problems, man. If you are a brother in this truth, you're going to have problems in this truth. And he prayed about it. Like I myself, what's some of my problems? I'm going to put it out there, okay? I'm on child support, okay? I don't mind the child support, but I see that the child support is not being given to my kids the right way, like the way I want them to be raised, within righteousness' sake, all right? So I'm on child support. I don't mind paying for my kids because that's what you have to do, okay? But it burns, because you have to work more. Because what they do, they give you a judgment where my child is not going to spend $1,600 every month. He's not. They not. My daughter and my son is not. What's some other thorns on me? All right. My leg been bothering me for a good 3-4 years. All right. These are thorns. Okay. Financially. Thorns, okay? But you deal with it, all right? And these are things that I prayed for. And sometimes if it doesn't come your way, you fall into a little depression, all right? Time, you want a little bit more time off work so you can study and try to get deep in the truth, even more deeper in the truth. Try to learn the Hebrew. But your time don't permit it because you're working all these hours and you're tired. And I could go on and 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 on. Being kicked out the house, I had my child mother. She kicked me out the house, and said she blamed it on postpartum. And she blamed it on, the way I was acting and what I did in my past. So she didn't accept me when I became a righteous man or a man in the truth. You'd think that, you're supposed to get accepted when you start moving better. But no, I got kicked out the house, I was paying bills, things of that nature, and it burnt. These are thorns. Different brothers coming around, that's not being sincere. These are thorns. COVID-19 being restricted by an imaginary so-called disease. All right. All right. What is the cure for COVID-19? Okay. Let's say the vaccine. But what is the cure for the vaccine? Eating the herbs, eating the herbs, the fruits, the dietary. So now we restricted from traveling. We restricted from this. These are thorns. Being taxed. Thorns. Okay? And this is what Paul prayed for. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. Verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee. You think Paul wanted to hear that? Hey, listen, brother, my grace is sufficient for thee. And that's why most people don't want to hear what the Israelites got to say. They're like, what the hell y'all talking about? Repenting of sin, salvation. What you talking about? Grace, man. I don't want to hear that. But we have been given grace. And when you go into the meaning of grace, right? It says, it's a free dictionary. I'm just going to read. It says, a deposition to be generous or helpful, goodwill, mercy, clemency. So we was given clemency, favor rendered by one who need not to do so. Temporary immunity or exemption. So we was exempt. All right? All right? Immunity. An exemption of certain property from bankruptcy or tax. So we was exempt. Meaning what, man? The Most High, even though we mess up, brothers might sin and mess up. The Lord said, don't worry, you exempt. And that matters more than a $500,000 house. That matters more than child support. That matters more than your body being able to work out and look like a action toy figure. Your grace matters. Because when we get judged, we're going to get judged based on our sins. We need to be exempted. We need Yahweh Shai. So Jake don't want to hear that. What? My grace is sufficient for thee. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. You see that? So the Most High strength is made perfect in weakness. So the Most High is not going to remove the curses from us, brothers. Those are the thorns. And every brother, we might not go fully through all the curses, all right? But guess what? We fit prophecy. So Jake wants to find relief. They want to find relief. They like, yo, man, it's too heavy. This is too heavy, man. It's not right. We don't got our own banks. It's not right. We don't have our own schools. We don't have our own funding. It's not right. I keep seeing my people getting shot in the street. I want to protest. It gets too heavy. But the Most High gave us spiritual steroids, and that is the grace. The grace is the spiritual steroids, because even though it might be, the load might be too heavy, when the Most High strengthen you and give you spiritual steroids, the grace, so your shoulders could bear with it, that you could bear it. It says, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So the Most High strength is made perfect in weakness. You can't receive power unless you have known weakness. A lot of y'all dudes want to watch the videos on the spiritual powers, but you don't want to know weakness. You don't want to go through the oppression, the trials. The Most High said his strength is known, may be perfect in weakness. Said, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities. You see that? Paul said what? He will glory in his infirmities, man. I'm a glory in them. These are signs that we are the children of Israel, that we are the elect of the Most High, man. The infirmities, the problems, the trials and tribulation. Every day you wake up, it's like a trial. It's like a tribulation, brothers. And if you're going through, you wake up every day and everything work out perfect for you, you're not going through the infirmities. The Most High is not dealing with you. These are signs, man. These are wonders. These are tokens So brothers can know that we are the men of the Most High. Paul had to go through thorns. You're not no different, man. You ain't the first one to have woman problems, man. Get up out your feelings, man. I have woman problems. Okay? I have a baby mother that give me all type of hell and grief. Sometimes she's like bipolar. Sometimes she's cool. The next day, she treat me like a clown. My own rib. The woman I'm with right now, she's good, but every now and then we go through our ups and downs. My kids, they don't listen to me sometimes. Sometimes they do listen to me. It's not a perfect thing, man. It says, most gladly, therefore, would I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahweh Shai may rest upon me. You see? The spiritual steroid is Yahweh Shai, man. That grace is to show you that the Most High love you, man. And who are we? We are Israel, right? Which means what? He is a prince of the power. He is a prince of the power. So Esau, Satan, he want to give you an illusion like, yo, you don't need God. You don't need that Bible because that Bible was used against you in slavery. But you don't know. By you having that illusion that you don't need the Most High, you're making yourself weaker. You're making yourself weaker. The curses was meant to what? No, it was meant to bring us closer to the Most High. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So that thorn was not to make you weaker. And when I say weaker, that means that you're further away from the Most High. But it was made to bring you closer. It was made to make you stronger. Verse 10, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities. You hear what Paul said? Because those are signs and reproaches and necessities and persecution. Paul took pleasure in that, man. In distress for Yahweh Shai's sake. So we going through these things. Why? Because the Most High is dealing with us. For when I'm weak, then I am strong. When I'm weak, then I'm made strong. Then am I strong. Salakia. Then am I strong. So you got to understand what the Bible's about. White supremacy is about. Edomite supremacy. Wickedness was all about. Seeing wickedness in a direction wickedness could lead you was made for you to go another direction. There's only two paths, man. It's only two paths, man. You got to understand that. You got to believe that, man. And you're not different. You're not different. Okay? This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There have no temptation taking you but such as is common to men. So you brothers that's striving for the mastery. Well, Paul was going through these thorns. King David, thorns. These men had problems when you read the Bible. Yahweh Shai, thorns. He actually got spiritual thorns and an actual physical thorn in his skull. So you're not better. So the KKK, that was necessary, man. Slavery was necessary. And I know y'all might say, oh, what type of God is that to serve? It was necessary to make us turn back to the Most High. Being hung on trees was necessary. Segregated schools was necessary. Redlining your community was necessary. When you watch that show, Them, it showed you how Esau redlined the community, gave us high interest rates, mortgage loans at 20%. This was all necessary, man. What Paul went through, it was necessary. It says, but God is faithful. You see that? But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So the Most High is not going to tempt you. He's not going to overdo it. But you are going to get tempted. You are going to get tempted. It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. So the temptation was what? Slavery. Slavery was used for us to escape America, to run away. Why do you think the slaves used to run away? Because they didn't want to be in that hellhole. They didn't want to be on the plantations. All right? So we running away not just for freedom, we running away to Yahweh Shai. We already know being a Muslim is not the way. Not for us, at least. It could work for Islam. It could work for these other nations, but it's not going to work for us. And when I mean us, the black, Native Americans, Hispanics, West Indians, is not going to work for us. We are the Israelites. We only supposed to serve one power. Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You see that, man? So what happened to us during the slave trade was only made to strengthen us. And I'm just going to read a few precepts, right? All right, let's start at 1. Deuteronomy 28:1. It's going to be real quick. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee high above all nations. Are we high above all nations right now? So that means that we did something wrong. And let's see who the Most High was talking about. Let's go to the verse before that, okay? Okay? Let's see who Moses was talking about. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. So who was Moses? Let's understand context. Moses was talking about the Israelites. He was talking to the Israelites. And these were the blessings that was going to make us to be above all the nations. But if we didn't do these things, then we would get the thorns. You understand that? So it says, but if, verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of thy Lord, thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses, thorns, shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So cursed shall thou be in the city. So when you in the city, Jake, like being in the city, you're going to be cursed. Your clubs is going to be shot up. Okay, you're going to go to the party in the city, it's going to get shot up. Cursed shall thou be in the field. You're going to go to work. You're going to catch hell at work. You see, these were the thorns, the afflictions, and Jake complained about it. It's not about complaining no more, bro. It's about correcting and say, well, damn, it's something that I'm doing wrong. Okay? Let's get some more. It says, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. You see? So Jay-Z makes a song called 444, an album called 444, and he's saying all these things about building up black wealth and generational wealth. But then he got a song about his mother, and he's bigging up the fact that he don't care if his mother's a lesbian, you know, as long as she's happy. Well, that's wicked, man. And that's why we under them curses, man. You see that? It says, the Lord shall make the pestilence to cleave unto thee. What? The COVID-19, who they saying the COVID-19, they claim the COVID-19 is messing with, is cleaving to the most? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. My uncle Gator, he just died a few days ago. They said it was COVID. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption and with a fever and with an inflammation. You know how many people got inflammations and problems with their body and with extreme burning and with the sword and with the blasting and with the mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. You see that, man? It says the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment in heart. Verse 28. So we're going to go through these things, man. That's where you get K2, murder in Broadway. Oh, that's the capital of K2. 125th and I think that's 2nd Ave. Capital, dudes is walking down the block talking to themselves, yelling and screaming, punching, jumping in the middle of the street, throwing garbage cans at cars, moving cars. They mad. Verse 29, it's the last one. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. Meaning what? You're going to be blind. Thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. DMX ain't prospering his way. He still was depressed. Yeah, he made it big. He makes all these albums. Well, why was he using drugs? Because he was under the curses. He had thorns. And no man shall save thee. So you can't go to no man to save you. No fleshly man. You can't go to Al Sharpton. Can't go to Bill Cosby, David Dinkins, Obama. You know, you're not going to be saved by them individuals, man. You got to turn back to the Lord, man. And this is going to be the last one I wanted to bring out. It says, and thou shalt, and verse 48, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy. So we were going to serve our enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. Right? So this is what we went through. It's only one group of people that have been through this, and and they are the Israelites, the transatlantic slave trade. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. Show me pictures of people getting yokes of iron put around their necks. Those were the Israelites. Whether they look dark skinned or whether they look so-called white. Those was Israelites. Until he have destroyed thee, and our people are broken. They're broken internally. Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth. This is a clue. Who puts the eagle on a dollar bill, on their coins? America. And where did America get that from? The Roman Empire. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So we were going to lose our tongue, our language, the Lashawan Kodash. And I could just keep on going on and on and on, man. You understand that? But I'm not. Because you want to know why? Isaiah 41:10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I will strengthen thee. So who's going to strengthen our shoulders that we could bear all these thorns? Who's going to strengthen us that we could deal with all these loads, all the curses? The Lord. So that lets you know that the curses was meant for us to turn back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, to do his statutes and commandments to the best of your ability, to keep the Passovers, to keep the high holy days, to give reverence only to him. Yea, I will help thee. He will help us. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. So guess what? These curses, man, it was necessary, man. It was necessary. These curses was made. They was made for us to turn back to the Lord. 3 more precepts, brothers. This is the Book of Sirach 20 and 21. There is that is hindered from sinning. You see? Because when you under them curses, you really supposed to stop from sinning. It says, curse shall thou be when you go out in the city. Curse shall thou be when in the field. So you supposed to be like, you know what? I'm not going to be hanging out no more. I'm not going to be BSing around no more. You know? I'm going to tap back into the Lord. So it's men's, there are situations where the Most High could be stopping you from sinning, man. Like totally sinning. Slavery was used for us to stop sinning. Because when Israel had liberty, we was going off. I'm going to give y'all a quick story real quick. It was one time when I was in the world, I called myself getting money and just doing a bunch of clown stuff, rapping and, doing illegal things and stuff like that. So I went to a school called North Carolina Central University, and I'm supposed to have been going to a homecoming. Homecoming is when, after you leave school, you go back to the school, they got events there, and you see all your friends that you used to go to school with. You're supposed to go there and stunt a little bit, let them know, yeah, I'm doing my thing and this and the third. So I just brought a Mercedes Benz, and I was a BMW, and I had a nice white BMW, man. My pops actually got it for me, and had a nice white BMW, and had to make the payments and this that and the third, or whatever the case might be. I had to put money down, and he got it for me, and that's neither here nor there. He got it for me, and I was going to homecoming, so I went to the gas station, and when I went to the gas station, I met this girl named Reese. Now I went to the gas station, paid for the gas, paid for the gas because I was on a quarter of a tank. I paid for the gas, and when I was coming out, pump the gas, I started talking to Reese. Now this girl was, chocolate, man. She was bad, man. She was really bad, man. Let me see if I can get somebody, man. You know what she looked like? She looked like a young Evelyn Champagne, man. Let me see if I can get her. Evelyn Champagne came. Let me see if I can get I want the young Evelyn Champagne. I'm going to show you exactly how she looked. Nah, this is a bad example. Evelyn Champagne. Let me see. Maybe she looked like a young Gladys. Let me see if I can get it. Nah, I'm bugging out. I said Evelyn Champagne. Yeah, she looked like a young Gladys, bro. Let me show you how young Gladys used to look. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This how Reese was looking, bro. Like a young Gladys Knight. Real talk. Okay? Like that. Bad. And what happened was, I done lost track of what I was supposed to be doing. And me and her got to talking. She gave me her number. And she like, yo, yeah, I'm going to see you. Let's link up. And I forgot to pump my gas. So now I'm driving to Durham. And I'm coming from Charlotte. I drive to Durham. I'm like 30 miles away. And, my car start acting up. And it just shuts down. So I pull up to the side. I call for a tow. And I call one of my friends. Make a long story short, I didn't want to go to the homecoming. Now, I had money on me, a lot of money on me, my jewelry on me, clothes and stuff like that. And, you're supposed to go back to the stunt. So make a long story short, I was hindered from, doing those things. I was hindered, from sinning. Because God forbid, what would have happened? I'd have went there. I probably would have did more adultery. I probably would have been trying to holler at one of my exes, and I know that they moved on, but I just wanted, just cause confusion. And what happened was I didn't want to go because I was like, I can't stunt. I don't got my car, and I didn't want to drive my friend's car because she had an Ultima. So I didn't go to the club. I didn't go to homecoming. I didn't want to show my face. So the dude calls me, and he's like, yo, I know what happened to your car. I'm like, what? He said, yo, you ran out of gas. You didn't pump. You didn't get gas. And I said, oh, sweat. So I always think about that, man. Like, what would have happened if I went to them parties? God forbid, I probably would have got shot up. Or tried to get robbed because, you had a lot of goons in it there, and, God forbid, I could have went to jail. You never know what could have happened. So I was hindered from sinning through one. The Most High literally made me poor that day, because I couldn't drive around. So through one. So slavery was supposed to make us stop sinning, man, through one. By making us poor, to make us tap back in to our people, make us tap back in to us being the children of Israel. You see? And when he taketh rest, he shall not be troubled. So I just wanted to give that quick story, man. Because there's no more doing your own thing, man. No more. So when you go through these curses, man, it's a good thing, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I just want to bring out one more precept. Maybe this was edifying the brothers, man. This is a book of Sirach 38 and 24. It says, the wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure. So when you going through these curses, right? Really, slavery was a thorn. It was a way for us not to have fun no more, not to just do as we please. So what? Child support, all right? The fact that I can't spend all the money I want to spend. You understand me? So now I have mad leisure time where I could just build myself up through the scriptures, learn, watch videos, YouTube, through the leisure. Because what's out there for? Only thing that's outside for you is the thorns and the curses, man. It's America. Who the hell want to be driving their car all day knowing that you could get stopped and get your behind, your brains blown the hell off? So there's a lot of times where I want to go out and drive around, but I'm like, for what? For I could go to those situations? I don't give a damn who you are. You could be a damn CIA agent. They don't know who you are. You look black to them. They'll blow your goddamn top off. You could be a federal employee. You could work for the city. It don't matter. So a lot of time I just stay in the crib and just read. Or I build with the brothers. So the wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that have little business shall become wise. You see? And you're going to have little business in America. Matter of fact, blacks and Latinos and Native American, we don't have no businesses in America like that. Now, you might have a few people that's doing their thing. Hey, but for the most part, I just want to say, man, that these curses was necessary to bring us closer to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. I pray this was edifying. With that being said, Kahallah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. Shalom.